Cool.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to 50 Shades of What the F. I mean, 50 Shades of Maintenance. Happy April Fool's Day to everyone, and we're happy to have you all here. And we're going to talk tonight about a subject that seems to be very popular, or at least something that we can all relate to right now in different degrees and levels, and that's stress! Oh, sorry. What? Shut up! I hate you. I'm unfriending you all now. But joining us tonight, of course, is the lovely voodoo queen herself, Miss VSG Tanya.
Thank you.
The ever so handsome sock model, TJ Brownfield.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
The lumber sexual Phil.
Yes. And then we have well, we talked a little bit about, yeah, I would consider you a lumbersexual spokesmodel at this point. The ever so handsome and hopefully soon to be much happier someday. Phil.
Oh, we should just call him Grumpy Bear. Like he's not fat because he can't be Fat King Phil anymore, so he can just be Grumpy Bear.
Yeah, he's not really grumpy. He's more of an otter at this point. Too. He's not really a bear anymore. He's more of an otter. He can be grumpy otter.
Are otters still hairy? Is that the trick?
Yeah, otters are hairy and sleek. So
okay. See, I'm learning.
Yeah, I bet you're really sleek when you get all wet.
Isn't that what Tanya does? I don't think that's what Phil does.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sleek when I'm wet.
You're slippery when wet? Oh.
I thought we were doing crow. What was it, crow? What did you say in that post? That was so good.
Yeah, it's like the trend is going from lumbersexual to crow-magalicious or something.
Magalicious, yeah, crow-magalicious.
Yeah, because he was talking about wanting to go live in a cave. So I'm like, hey, that could be very hip. I bet you people in Portland are already on that idea right now. And
actually, there was
fur out.
I watched a show on all the people that live by the LA River, and they have like little caves and stuff that they have set up. And I mean, there's people that have lived there for years and years. The cops just let them do their thing, but they got their little houses, set up all along there. But and in New York, a lot of people live in the cave areas like Central Park and shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, it would probably be nice and cool, I would imagine, if you're surrounded by rocks all the time.
Yeah.
At least the one cave that I've been in had a dehydrated mountain lion in it somewhere between California and the Grand Canyon, and you had to take like an elevator really far down below ground, and it was like 30 degrees. Above ground, it was like 120. This was somewhere out in the desert. But a mountain lion had fallen through it'd fallen through like some crack or crevice down into this thing, and it was dehydrated, and because or mummified, I should say, because of the cool, dry temperature of the caverns. It was one of those like Kartchner caverns or cavern something. I don't know.
Carlsbad Caverns.
Has nothing to do with stress, but those are the types of vacations you go on when you're feeling stressed.
If you fell down a cougar crack,
I was just gonna say that.
Or a cougar and fell down a crack, you'd be pretty stressed.
Or if you're talking about Tanya, you'd be very happy.
Or if you, Kirk, fell into a cougar's crack, you would be stressed. So
I would like be a little.
How you? Yeah.
Unless it was the cougar Tanya's crack, then you'd be in heaven, right? You'd curl.
I would be like, I would be fascinated and perplexed. Would probably be the. All right, so far we haven't talked about stress. All right, so stress. I mean, we're all.
Wait.
Maybe that's
before we start,
so punchy. Go ahead.
Do we want to talk about the challenge real quick again?
No, because here's the thing: is nobody entered it, so we just saved $75.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Well, when was the deadline?
Well, they had to do it pretty much right because they had a month, and we were going to go until April 29th, which it already passed. So nobody gets it. That's the thing is, if one person would have entered, they would have won.
Oh, maybe they thought they had until the 29th to enter.
That's what I thought.
We could always bring it back later.
Perhaps.
If you, because everybody's excited about the rules and this and it's so cool, and then nobody. So if you guys want the Converse thing to come back, let us know. Otherwise, I'd rather save the money because we have a bunch of shirts coming. So shirts are on order.
We do have shirts.
Yeah.
So
right.
Kirk
Nobody knows that, so you need to talk about that.
Oh yeah, so Kirk and Tanya are going to be the shirt sluts in San Diego because they're going to get here because of the way the ordering worked. We did it last minute, so I order them. They're going to come here. I'm going to box them up and overnight them to you guys in San Diego at the hotel. And then
That's right. And I mean, we don't want to just give them to any old buddy. You gotta come up to us and tell us something about the 50 Shades show, right? I mean,
Yeah, a little bit of trivia.
A little bit of trivia, a little bit of maybe we'll put a safe word on the 50 Shades site while we're down there, and so you'd have to actually be looking at the 50 Shades website that particular day.
Yes, there you go. Every day.
First person to get to me who says the word, clitoral piercing, would be
nice.
Yeah.
I think the first one should be felching.
Felching, ooh, that's a good one. All right.
Because a lot of people, they're going to have to go look it up, and then they're going to get grossed out because
all right,
they have
let's
no
make
idea
a
what
list of
felching
words behind the scenes, and those will be the words that people will have to come up and.
You have to be in charge of the words, TJ.
Yeah, the words.
Google's trending right now, so we'll do like felching, and then we'll do snowball, and then we'll.
Yeah.
Pumpkin.
Dirty Sanchez.
Dirty Sanchez.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, that sounds like fun. So gosh, we're just full of fun.
On the fly.
Yeah, so tonight's show we're talking about stress, and clearly everybody is experiences stress to various levels, and of course sometimes there's peaks and valleys. And we're going to talk a little bit about tonight how that's a little bit different post-op and in maintenance. I guess we reviewed all of the questions that have come in, and there's a definite theme, of course, and the biggest theme or the biggest question is the obvious one. It's how or what do you do now to cope with stress now that you don't turn to food? Or how do you not turn to food when you are stressed? Or what kind of tools or things have you put in place so that you don't turn to food during stress? So we'll kind of lump those questions into that first category right there. And we'll start off with Tanya. Tanya, tell us a little bit about you're the furthest out. Tell us about some of the things that you do in order to cope with stress that don't involve or don't relate to food, or maybe they do.
All right. Well, along the journey, I think a lot of things I did had to do with like exercise. I was real big into fitness for a long time, and I haven't been so much recently. But that was always kind of a good distraction because I've said before I'm a boredom eater. So if I was stressed out, I would work out, do an extra workout, go get up early by myself. I'd rather be by myself when I'm stressed out. But what I kind of realized along the way was stress eating is kind of something that it's hard to break that habit. And I kind of just stopped fighting it and then tried to find other things to munch on.
Like healthy alternatives?
Yeah, healthy alternatives. So I went through a whole thing of eating celery and salsa because there's basically no calories in that. So I made myself sick, and I almost had to give up my gold star BSG status because I ate too much celery and salsa. But
and by the gold star BSG, what do you mean?
She's never purged.
I've never thrown up.
Yeah, I don't think people know what that. Some people may not know what that means. I wanted you to say.
Yeah, I've never thrown up. Yeah, I've never thrown up since surgery. So I've come close, and I've wanted to, but I have not. The celery was one of the worst ones. But so finding alternatives, or even just I'll have turkey jerky because I know it's only 100 calories, and I know it's really filling, and I won't want to eat anything after I eat that. Mm-hmm. So I kind of just gave in to. I am a stress eater, and if I'm going to be a stress eater, just don't eat crap. Yeah. Instead of trying to fight being a stress eater. And then the other thing I've said before too is that I chew gum a lot, but then I also have with my arthritis issues. Sometimes I have problems with my jaw getting sore from chewing gum, so I have to watch that if I'm seriously stressed out and I'm really chomping. But yeah, exercise and finding healthy alternatives—that's my two big things.
So does your jaw only get tired from chewing gum?
Well, she did do this when she said that. So I just wanted to know if anybody else saw that. Just
did I really? Oh my. Yeah, only from chewing gum.
Awesome. So staying active is what you're saying, staying busy and finding some healthy alternatives, but sometimes just giving in to that feeling and dealing
Right.
with it in a healthy way and at least being aware of what's going on.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
What about you, TJ?
I think it's probably going to be the same for all of us. I mean, it's staying active, working out. It's been hard for me because I entered into maintenance and then moved, and then I got both my shoulders operated on.
Yeah.
So being active, working out was really hard. So I fell into some bad habits. I mean, luckily I'm able to moderate myself somewhat. So then that kind of gets into, drugs and alcohol can soothe you just as good as food can.
Yeah.
You
And I
know,
would imagine, like, gosh, shoulder surgery and that, it must have made masturbation really hard.
no, because that's more of a
Wrist.
wrist action, I think.
Forearm.
I mean, because I have a very small penis. I mean, like somebody like you probably do.
Oh, so it
probably
takes
need,
more effort.
Right. There's more range of motion.
Do you
For
find
me, it's just more of a.
Do you find masturbation to be a stress reducer?
Not for me because I suck at it. I'm the worst person
It's
I've ever
probably
had
like
in
the
bed.
only thing that you admit to sucking at, really. It's the only thing you admit to not being like the best or the greatest at.
That's the only thing I'm bad at, and that's just because I'm so easily distracted. Like a lot of people, because my so I guess I could kind of pat myself on the back because my stamina, even only by myself, is quite long. So 20 minutes into it, you get a little like I gotta do laundry. The dogs need to go out. Oh shit, show's about ready to start. So then I'm just like fuck it,
That's funny.
So yeah, for me, I would say though, but staying. And then I got just to throw it out there. So I finally started working out, started training again, doing jiu-jitsu and kickboxing again a couple weeks ago. And then Monday broke my ribs. So
Nice job, sir.
I know, is that not awesome? But I was at the doc today. They X-rayed all that stuff, so it is cracked. The doc said I can go ahead if I want. He says the danger, of course, is that it could break all the way and then puncture my lung. But he said the odds are very minimal.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna push through. I'm gonna eat my Percocet and I'm just gonna keep doing it because it's gonna be at least 6 to 8 weeks. He said before it's gonna go away, and I'm not gonna wait 2 months to because I just started working out again.
I have kind of a on-topic, off-topic question about that. Have you had your vitamin levels checked? You're not like calcium?
No.
Like,
No, it's not like we're not like gentle with each other.
no, I know.
But I mean, whenever I was in Krav Maga, I had my ribs broke twice doing it too. So I mean, it's one of those, and I think some of it has to do with my size because I'm a bigger guy. So people, they go a little harder against you than they might somebody smaller. And,
Right.
And then I think it's more of a muscle mass issue. So I have lost a lot of muscle mass, but just in general, I'm not like an overly muscular guy. And that's what's going to protect your bones and your frame when you are training.
Right.
So that kind of woke me up to, hey, you need to get back to lifting weights. So it was a motivating factor.
Well, you looked really good in your, what is it called, a G or a gi?
It's a gi.
Looked good. Looking good, if nothing else.
I concur.
Just wear it all the time.
Did they hit you or kick you in the ribs?
Neither. They fell on top of me, so we were doing a drill, and you're on the ground. So
about this sport.
It was all. So it was his full body. He came off balance. Same way my ribs got broke before. He came off balance, and all of his weight landed on the right side of my chest, and it just compressed, and it was instant. I don't know if you guys have ever had your ribs broke, but it's instantaneous, sharp pain, and all your breath is gone. You cease to be able to breathe anymore.
No thanks.
Moral of this story is when you come, don't be off balance.
That's right. Especially when you're coming down, in the downward.
Going down. Wait, it still sounds bad.
But yeah, the same thing happened to me, but the other 2 times it was a knee. So the guy came down on me again, but with his knee right into my ribs. So
which rib is it?
I don't know the number. It's more up. It's up here.
But I mean, it's up high.
Yeah, it's up high. It's not like my side is fine. Like I can touch it, I can move my arm, it's fine. But if I get any pressure on my chest, takes my breath away.
Oh. So probably out of the four of us, the person who's dealing with the most stress right now, with lots of life changes, some that are very public, some that aren't. Phil, how are you coping with stress post-op?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You guys were talking about the different things. So like the working out used to be enough. Like at this level of stress, I could go work out and just distract myself enough from the mental stuff and just be in the moment with the physical stuff. But once I noticed the stress went past that level, actually it affects the working out. So I'll go work out, but if I'm in kickboxing, I'll lose pace with the moves, or I'll forget what we were doing, and I'll get off the rhythm or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I'm just thinking about the shit while I'm working out. So like that's not even distracting me.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna steal something, or I'm gonna devalue you a little bit in the sense that you do cardio kickboxing, right? You're not doing like true kickboxing.
No, cardio kickboxing. No,
okay.
Yeah.
I just want to double check because I don't want to sound like the pussy. You're like, when I do kickboxing, I don't
No. It's cardio kickboxing. It's completely designed as a cardio thing. It's like the more masculine cardio thing. Because otherwise you're just doing aerobics and it's
the leg warmers are hot.
The leg warmers and the leotards just don't look good on me. Is the point I'm trying to get at. So I had to do the cardio kickboxing. So yes, no, it's cardio.
When I used to do cardio kickboxing, I did feel like I could kick ass when I left the class. Like I was hoping somebody would attack me so I could kick the shit out of them.
That's like Taibo, right? It used to be Taibo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With what was his name? Billy Blanks, right?
Billy Blanks,
right. Yeah.
Good job, TJ. So then now it's like that doesn't even distract me. It doesn't matter what we're doing. I could be lifting, I could be whatever. So it's still just my head's in that space, which is a good way to get hurt when you're working out, by the way. You want to be focused on what you're doing. But then I would come home and I would eat or drink booze or any other thing, any other pleasure thing to distract me. So food was becoming a problem though because I was starting to eat bad things and I was eating way too much of them way too often. And I was like, here I am stressing about all these things I can't control, and I'm giving up the things I can control, which makes no sense. So I think I kind of took a page, I kind of learned this or relearned it in the sense that I come home and just admit, okay, I'm a stress eater, so instead of eating crackers and chips tonight, I'm going to eat all the sweet pickles I want to eat.
Yeah.
Which is about 6 little sweet pickles because they're very filling and you got to chew on them so you get the same crunch, you get the salty flavor, you get the sweet flavor, and then you're full. You're like, I can't eat any more of these. Like,
and you're a chips and salsa guy too, right?
Yeah, I'm very much a chips and salty kind of crunchy guy.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through that same phase where it was like I can just picture myself like I picture like somebody who's would run to have a drink, be really stressed out or whatever, and just can't wait to make that martini at home or whatever. And there were days literally where I could not get the bag of chips open fast enough. This is post-op. And some nice fresh pico de gallo, and literally like after 5 chips, that's all I needed. But it instantly calmed me down, and I'm like, "What the hell?" I mean, like some things just never change. I mean, other than it's like, well, it's the quantity certainly is different, but the behavior to get that like instant calming sensation, like it's just it's something that we still have to deal with, but at least we're more aware.
Yeah. Go ahead. I think that, like, to your point, Kirk, it's like I would come home and literally eat like 2 or 3 chips out of the bag as soon as I walked in the door, whether I was hungry or not. I'm just like, I need 2 chips.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the salt and the crunch. I'm good. I'll go cook dinner for the kids now or whatever.
Yeah.
You could have had a piece of hummus or a little thing of hummus on 1 cracker, and that would have been 10 times the amount of good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just
yeah.
Oh man, I had a severe hummus addiction for a little while.
I'm starting to get it. It's
good. I mean, because you can get so many different flavors now.
Oh,
Is it bad though? Because I mean, isn't it like a lot of fiber and?
Yeah, because it's just beans. It's a type of bean.
Yeah, it's protein and fiber, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's chickpeas.
Chickpeas, there you go. It's kind of crushed up, but now you can get like sun-dried and
sun-dried and garlic,
sriracha and garlic and rosemary and. Back in the day, it was just a hummus, just a plain flavor.
I think that's when I tried it.
Yeah, you put a little lemon on it, and it would give it a little tang. The first time I had it, I didn't like it, but I think I had some bad hummus.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't had it recently because I haven't tried and explored all of those great flavors, but.
Yeah. Do you like refried beans? Do you like the texture of refried beans?
I do. Yeah.
then you will like hummus. It's the same.
I
It's
think
not
I
a
just had
bean
some
dip.
bad hummus too. I think
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
I've
Yeah.
had.
yeah, you just need to get the flavor that you like, and it has the consistency of bean. I'm a big consistency guy, and that's why I stay
Yeah.
away from it for a long time. But yeah, it reminds me of bean dip almost. So
Oh yeah,
you
it's
need to try it.
Yeah.
very pasty, but it's maybe it's heavier. It's like
Yeah,
it's thicker
it fills you up.
than yeah, like I would say refried beans are almost like a more airy because hummus is very dense
Dense, yeah, you're
in
right.
texture.
All right. So as you guys can tell, we're being extremely helpful with giving people advice as to how to avoid food while stressed out
By
post-op.
eating
But
food.
we are just like glowing and talking about how much we still turn to food. Um,
Well,
but
you know,
it's the
I have
truth.
something else that
It's the reality.
But I
Well,
mean, you
well,
like.
let me ask you
Okay,
something,
fine.
Tanya. Tanya, what is the what do you think is the most interesting, maybe totally unlike the old Tanya you, and that we're not talking about exercise or food. What do
yeah.
you think would be the most interesting thing you've ever turned to as a stress reducer post-op, in your post-op mind, where you're trying to actively make changes?
Well, that's a good question because I was just getting ready to say something else that I do. I did it a lot during the losing phase, and now I don't do it as much, but I do still sometimes. Is shopping and trying on clothes in my new size, um, especially with work stress
Mhm.
because where I work, I'm really close to. There's a lot of shopping in my area.
Yeah.
So if I was getting really stressed out and I was really wanting to eat, especially early, I try to not eat lunch. I tend to want to eat lunch at like 11 o'clock, which is
Mhm.
entirely too early. I'd prefer to eat like around 1. So I would take my lunch hour and go to like Dress Barn or someplace like that
Mhm.
and go try on clothes in my size. And, um, people ask me about like body image and things like that and how do you get used to the new you. And I would take pictures of myself in the clothes. And I'm not saying you have to buy everything that
Yeah,
you
that's
try
the
on that you
interesting
like.
thing. That's the interesting thing, because you
I
wouldn't end
have
up
to,
buying it.
Right.
no, I
That's why
don't.
I was just gonna say the same thing. You just try them on. You don't actually buy them.
I I don't buy that much stuff.
Yeah.
When I was losing, and right when I got around my goal weight, I did buy a lot of things. So I was kind
Mhm.
of worried about a shopping transfer addiction.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to weigh. Like, is it a transfer addiction, or? But I really do need clothes, so
Yeah.
like I don't know. But now I try on a lot of stuff and I don't buy it.
Yeah.
But it helps me appreciate where I was. It distracts me from that, and I do feel less stressed afterwards because I feel like, oh, like this is something that I've accomplished and I feel good about.
Mhm.
It makes me feel good about myself. And then also, this is terrible, and TJ was feeding into this today, online shopping. A lot of times I'll do online shopping and I'll fill my cart with stuff that I want and I don't actually buy it. After I fill it with everything that I really want, I'll go back and look at my cart and then I'll take out the things that I'm like, I really don't need that. And it's a little bit time consuming and it distracts you. And the next thing you know, like usually that's sometimes during the day, but sometimes a lot of times at night. And then it's like, oh, it's time to have a shower and go to bed. And that the moment has passed where I'm
That's
really
good.
like wanting to stress.
That's because
Oh,
I started turning everybody on the touch of modern today. So
Oh, did you?
oh,
yeah, it's
that was
Yes.
bad.
it's
That's
a very
funny.
addictive site. Um,
What TJ,
so
what have you done that was what you would consider maybe really kind of out of the norm or sort of strange, or not even strange, but just different, that doesn't involve the normal like
right.
alcohol, shopping, those kinds of things?
For me, it was fishing.
Oh yeah.
I thought fishing was the most boring thing in the world pre-surgery, but I thought golf was very exciting.
Yeah. Was
um,
was fishing something you took up just in Tampa, or is that something you
yeah,
did?
no, I just took it up in Tampa. I mean, before that, I was in archery, so I would just. But we lived on land in Virginia, so I could go out back and shoot. So I got real into archery, and then it's just something where you can do it, and then for me anyway, it occupies me physically and mentally.
Yeah.
So
I think
so
that's interesting. Yeah, fishing,
yeah,
and like so many people, I mean, whether you're a pre-op, post-op, weight loss surgery patient, or not, I mean, so much of our population finds fishing a good de-stressor. I mean,
yeah,
a
it's
way
good
to
at
just sort of clear your
de-stressing
mind.
and you're out like with me. I go out, I wade out into the ocean and stuff, and I check things out. So I'm getting exercise because I'm walking around in the
Yeah.
water. It's the stress is gone, and then I can't eat. because I'm not anywhere. I mean, unless I go sushi style and just eat whatever I catch right on the spot.
Which is healthy.
Which is health. Well, yeah, it's a little debatable. The water's not the best here. So.
Oh gosh.
But
Phil,
yeah, so yeah, fishing
Phil,
for me.
Phil, have you tried anything that's different or a little bit?
Yes, I got two of them, and the one that what surprises most people is target shooting, because I take and do high power rifle target shooting. Or
No,
even
Just
that
what
was
we need you to be
pre-op.
doing.
but I do that. I still do that.
Right, but he's saying something post-op.
Only
that
post-op?
you didn't do. Yeah.
Stress reducer.
Okay, only post-op. Oh, that's a hell of a stress reducer. Okay, so then I'll have to go with my second one, which is kayaking, because I stillwater kayaking, not like water kayaking. Just like freshwater. You know, go out on a lake. You're being physical. You're moving, but you're on the something about the water is very, especially freshwater for me, is very calming and soothing, and it's quiet, and you're in a rhythm with the paddle, and you're kind of just looking around at everything else, and so you're getting the physical exercise, but you're also just kind of taking in the what you're seeing in the quietness of it all. Now it can be a little bit, if you're really in your head, it's probably not a great thing, because that's all you have is time for your mind to wander, if you will. But
you can work through problems too. So I mean, you can go out, but it'll give you time to also sort through them without any.
You're not trying to escape. Like lately, I just wake up, and I was telling Tanya this, or maybe I was telling Kirk. I'm sorry, but it's like all day I'm running this script on like a record, man. The needle's just going across the record, and then I go to sleep at night, and it shuts off, and I don't think about it. And the second I wake up, the needle drops, and the record starts again. It's just the same like crap that's going through, and I'm trying to solve it and figure it out, and I just don't want to think. Like I mean, I really don't want to think. So in that regard, I don't know how kayaking is going to work this year. We'll see how it works, but hopefully by then I'll be over it. So yeah.
But Kirk, you've dodged both of them, so you got to answer this one and the last one.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
Well, what's interesting about you two guys, both of you guys have nature stuff, which is I think is a great stress reducer, and I'll tell you why. For me, it's always interesting because sometimes, like, if I'm just happen to be outside and just getting fresh air and get a chance just to look at the sky or just look around, take that minute to kind of put into perspective whatever that is that's stressing me out to that point to where I feel really stressed, and then remember what I am in relation to the entire universe. That it kind of helps me kind of put things into perspective, like this vast, huge universe of all these things happening and everything going on, and I sometimes that's a good just kind of like, kind of like, hey, your problems aren't as big as you think they are. There's a much bigger picture out here that you just kind of got to go with the flow and see where you're going to come out on the other side of this, and 9 out of 10 times, if not all the times, eventually it all makes sense. So.
I think that's why nature is a good escape, because you're getting away from what might be familiar to you. Your kind of human surroundings. You get out in nature. It's good. Go ahead.
The questions that we've kind of covered so far, for me, same thing with you guys. For me, one of the key things is stay active. For me, it's like if I stay active, I'm not really thinking about food and that kind of thing, and that's a plus and a minus. Sometimes I get a little dehydrated, but staying active is a key part. Sometimes giving into the indulgence, but being aware that that's what I'm doing, and just saying, okay, hey, I'm gonna have some chips and salsa. That's what I'm gonna have, and then for the rest of dinner, it's gonna be pretty high carb, high protein, lower carb, whatever. I just kind of make those modifications, and it's kind of natural because if I know that's gonna calm me down. It's going to calm me down. The weird things that I've done are different things we've talked about before. Like I love getting full body massages. Those are like fully instant stress reducers for me. Just taking that time to pamper myself. Those are things I would have really not done before. Going for a Korean body scrub. We've talked about that before too. Just the indulgences of self-pampering and just doing something that just involves me taking care of me, that doesn't involve food, shopping, booze, anything that would be considered a destructive transfer addiction. So, for any of us, it could just be going to go get a pedicure. For me, that would be de-stressing. That would be like, hey, just taking time for me.
Yeah, and And it's something that involves your body that you probably wouldn't have been open to prior to losing, like at least for me, I wouldn't have been open to prior to losing the weight. So it's like a double affirmation, you know, like one is stress relieving and two, you appreciate how far you've come too.
Yeah, well, I mean, or at least where I just don't really care. I mean, I probably was more comfortable with my body as a larger person than I am as a smaller person. But just the fact that I'm feeling, for me, it's more the mental thing of allowing myself to take care of myself and being okay with doing something selfish. Because I'm pretty sure all of us, and we've talked about this before, are pretty giving folks, you know, pretty self-sacrificing. And then that kind of builds into sometimes resentment and hostility towards those around us, and that it perpetuates a cycle of stress and self-sabotage and those types of things. So just taking that time out for myself, doing these things that I wouldn't normally do for myself, and being okay with, hey, it is a little selfish. I'm going to do it. It's all right. Nobody's getting killed. There's no, you know, getting a body massage is completely carb-free. I mean, at least it
yeah, well, I don't think that is necessarily a WLS thing. I mean, massages are very are pretty common release for people. I know, like Jenny, she was big into them. She tried to get me to go get massages, and I went and got one, and it was a regular massage, like a relaxing massage, and I hated it. I hated the oil. I hated everything about it. But then I went and got a deep tissue massage.
Yeah.
Love it. Love deep tissue massages.
One of the people who asked a question ahead of time, I think it was Amy, wanted to know if any of us have tried transcendental meditation, or let's just say, for the sake of everybody, do you guys practice any kind of active meditation to kind of reduce stress? Tanya, do you find yourself meditating at all?
No. I've thought about it, but and I've not looked into it, but no, I don't.
How about you, Phil?
Yeah, no, I think the closest I come is maybe yoga class, but I mainly do that for stretch. So I don't know that I get into the more metaphysical kind of side of it.
TJ, you must a little bit.
I do. I am a meditator. I like it because I think that it allows you to focus. I mean, I meditate a little different, right? Because the idea behind meditation is to wipe your mind, is to have a clear mind. But I find that meditation lets me focus on an individual thing. It calms my thoughts. So instead of my thoughts racing, and you're trying to catch different things. When I meditate, it's kind of similar to fishing. I'm able to just focus on one thing. So I use meditation to work through a lot of issues. So I meditate. And then something else I'm real into is lucid dreaming, which I won't even get into all that. But
let's talk about that sometime, because I would be fascinated in hearing about that.
I'm huge into lucid dreaming.
So so for me personally, I've had to use various types of meditation in order to. I mean, we've talked and hinted on this on other shows, but back in 1998, I was a victim of a pretty violent assault where I was essentially rendered and left for dead, and that did a lot to really screw with me in how I dealt with the world or felt safe in the world. And I tried medications and counseling and all kinds of things, to sort of help get me back into the real world, or at least feel safe in the real world. And the only thing that really worked for me was transcendental meditation. It was being able to sort of tune in to my own inner intuition and my own inner voice, whatever you want to call it, and kind of understand that pretty much any problem that you have, you can solve if you can just calm your mind enough to be open to hear those answers come through. And we could probably do a whole show on that. But to answer the viewer's question, I'm all for meditation. I'm all for medication.
Medication, yeah.
I'm all for medication. Really. And I like the medication when I'm shopping on Amazon and eating Skinny Pop. Like, what the hell did I order? But meditation for me now, it used to be a real formal process. Sitting in a comfortable chair and kind of going through a whole guided imagery thing, and it worked a lot. In fact, Eric uses it as a very active, very stressed out med student, and it's so fascinating to hear him put his iPod on and play this lady's guided imagery, and when he can not normally just fall asleep, he falls asleep like instantly, but and I eventually do, but But for me, meditation could be even as simple as having a really stressful moment at the office and just having to excuse myself, for a little while, or maybe just go to the office, or maybe take a quick walk, and literally going through that entire process that used to take a half an hour or an hour to get into, and just sort of like centering myself and just saying, hey, it's going to be okay, and then just kind of taking that deep breath, and then going back in and being able to approach things from a different light. And I'll say that comes in real handy post-op WLS or WLS, because there's a lot of times where it'd just be easy just to like instantly. I mean, I live with a power lifter. We've got a freezer full of ice cream and crap that I could eat really easily if I was stressed out. And being able to say, hey, no, press pause. And for me, pressing pause is a form of meditation. So that was a really good question, and I'm glad.
Well, anybody who gets into it, just know that it takes practice. It's not like what you're saying, Kirk. Is at first it can be hard and you get distracted and all that stuff. Oh, Kirk just dropped off, but like Kirk said, it's something that you got to go through. You got to learn how to do it, and then it becomes very easy. You can put yourself in that state pretty quickly, and then something else that's good that's along similar lines, which might be what Eric's doing, is self-hypnosis, where you actually you have your eyes closed. It's similar to meditation, but you're focusing on relaxing your muscles, and you start at your toes, you work your way up, you start thinking about your breath and how hot it is when you exhale, and the cool sensation when you inhale, and so self-hypnosis is good as well.
I have done it.
Yeah.
I'd say don't knock it. I say don't knock it until you've at least tried it. Give it a shot, because seriously, I was at a point where I was like, nothing is going to work. I'm going to live on Social Security or something the rest of my life. I'm going to have to. I'm never leaving my house or doing anything ever again or rejoining the world. And the difference that it made for me was huge. So I mean, it's great.
Well, let me ask you this: for somebody who's never done that before, how do you get into it? How do you learn about it? Because the only time I'd ever heard about transcendental meditation was from listening to Howard Stern, and I know he does it like daily. So how do you learn about that? How to do it?
There's usually groups, and if you just want to get started, usually if you live in any kind of metropolitan area, or a hub, there's usually groups, that you can join for, especially if you're a new person or a beginner. And it can be a little fringy,
That's what I was going to say, is I wouldn't do the group thing. I would like YouTube videos, Google, and start out that way before.
Yeah, or referral. Like if you know somebody who you think is pretty, who has their stuff together, and if someone were to ask me for a referral, of where I went, I'd be happy to share that information, but it wouldn't be very close for anybody. Somebody who's trained in it is actually another good. Finding a therapist who's actually a licensed therapist who is also then sort of trained in sort of alternative methods. You'll find that a lot of them specialize in eating disorders, so they definitely see a link between psychotherapy with the meditation component being very effective with people with eating disorders and with PTSD. So it's very interesting.
Well, that's kind of where ecstasy originally came from, was from the same type of thing, to put you into that state. And I mean, there's a lot of therapeutic value to it besides the entertainment value. But a lot of psychologists will do it. But you can look into like Taoism or Zen or Buddhism or anything along those lines. But you gotta kind of pick and choose, because it can get a little woo-woo-y. It can be kind of like, this is just silly. I mean, there's people that take it to extremes.
Yeah.
So don't get turned off by that.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely
Hey,
not.
you'll be here tomorrow, Tanya. I'll teach you how to meditate.
Okay, that sounds good.
I think some people are probably more prone to that, but I think it's something that everybody can learn and do at their own comfort level, as far as the degree in which they do it. I mean, some people, it'll just be as simple as being able to center themselves at a stoplight. And for some people, it'll freaking lead to past life regression, if whether you believe or not believe in any of that stuff. It's very interesting. It's very, very, very interesting. I was looking to see if we've had any new questions come in terms of stress and eating, and Jim Haney wants to know if alcohol is a food or alcohol is a food, right? Certainly there's something to be said about the stress reduction elements of alcohol, and
Yeah.
I would say, hey, we've all imbibe occasionally. I don't know, not very often, but
I'm actually not. Tonight I have coffee and I have water. But that's
oh
because
shoot,
Me too.
holy
I just
crap.
I have sorry. I have Crown, so.
nice.
But one of the other things that you can do for stress reduction, I think, is I like to have something to sort of look forward to. So, and this is something that people do, non-weight loss surgery patients, but like having something to look forward to. So, like we're going to go on vacation next week, Tanya and I, just Tanya and I.
Yeah,
and
just us two.
just us two, a little event. But going to going on a vacation and kind of removing yourself from the situation. Do you think some people? Okay, this is just probably my own question. Do you find or think that like some people actually get more stressed out about going on vacation as a post WLS patient because they think they're going to go way off track? And do you think that that's like, do you think that's necessarily going to happen? Phil, what has your experience been like while vacationing as a post WLSer? Do you worry about going off track too much?
And I really don't, to be honest with you, because it's funny because it seems like I always lose weight when I go on vacation, not intending to, and I really don't. I think I'm just more in tune. I'm more relaxed and I'm more in tune with myself when I'm on vacation. So like when I eat, I only eat until I feel, satiated, and that's it. I don't really eat more. I don't have like I don't know. I just don't have the stresses that drive me to probably eat more than I should have or whatever. I think I find it to be the opposite. So, I mean, other than having to pack vitamins and your, maybe throwing a couple boxes of Quest bars in your bag just so you have snacks when you're running around. But you can pick up regular food anywhere and you can just eat small amounts. And,
yeah, so vacation you would say is a de-stressor.
well, for me, for sure. But I like to travel. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
So.
How about you, Tanya?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's something I was going to bring up too about when you're traveling and like we're going to be on the cruise soon and we're going to be with lots of WLSers. Like, do you find that you eat less because you feel pressure to not eat less? I mean, to not eat as much with other WLSers, or is it just kind of like I find I eat less when I'm with other WLSers or when I'm traveling in general, but I think it's because I'm distracted and I have lots of things to do, and since I'm a boredom eater, then I don't think about food as much because I'm distracted with all the things I'm doing. Do y'all find that too?
Well, you definitely are the type of vacationer who has something to do every single, like, I mean, you've got spreadsheets for your vacations and time slots. So, I mean,
Right.
there isn't an empty moment there for you. So I totally understand that. TJ, you've got to travel for business, or you've been traveling for business recently. Like, what's that been like for you post WLS?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I find that vacationing it's not that it's stressful. It's just that when you vacation, you do tend to do a lot of things. At least I do anyway. So a lot of times I feel like I need a vacation for my vacation.
Yeah.
Like I'll generally plan an extra day for whenever I get home to just chill out. But I make sure that I prep everything before I leave for vacations. Like the house is all clean, the laundry's all done. So like when I get home, I don't have to think about anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I stress quite a bit right beforehand, and then I just kind of let loose during the travel, and then I kind of have to. I guess you kind of come back to reality, right?
Yeah.
You got to get out of vacation mode and back into work mode. And
Gosh, we sound like so similar. It seems like my life becomes a total shit show right before vacation, literally where I am packing hours before it's time to go.
That's how I am.
Because it seems like everything is sort of falling apart at home or at work, or it's like, and then finally I get to the point to where it's like, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to a third world. There will be a Walmart or a Target nearby. If I forget something, I will just go buy it, at this point. But I build up, to that. But then once I get to the airport and I could smell the airport and the diesel fuel, jet fuel or whatever, I'm like vacation mode, not a worry in the world. Like it's too late now. I've flipped that switch. But then when I get back, it's interesting that you plan that extra day because I do the same thing and I actually get really depressed. My stress then relaxation kind of changes into a little bit of depression, and it's like, why can't the rest of my life be like this all the time?
Vacation. Yeah. Well, it's exhaustion mixed with depression. I have the same thing. I do that same day buffer in there too. John doesn't need to do that. He goes right back to work. I always have to.
That's because he has you. You do everything.
Right.
It's awesome.
Exactly.
I was messaging Tanya because they're coming. Tanya and John and the kids are all coming here tomorrow. So I was like, hey, so what kind of coffee should I pick up? She's like, I packed it. Okay, what should I grab from the liquor store? I packed it. No, packed it. Like she tows a Walmart behind her everywhere she goes. Like there's a Walmart truck.
And that was a couple of days ago because I had that pack since last week.
See, I don't. I'll pack the day before. Because I'm doing everything else until right the day before, and then I'm packing. And I always forget something.
Yeah. But see, that's probably, well, I always forget something too, but that's probably part of my stress relief is if I feel like I prepare super early and I get things lined up, then I know when I get to wherever I'm going to be, it's all about relaxation because I've put all my work into the preparation leading up to it, and I've thought of everything, and so, yeah, then I know once I get there, I can relax.
Yeah, you do too. Like, I mean, for as much as you...
I'll relax.
Yeah, you really do, and I mean it's good because I mean it's fun and it's I think I'm just so thankful when I travel with you, and especially you and John. It's like for once I don't have to be the planner, organizer, whatever, you know. It's like I'll just do whatever their works are doing or their O'Rourke's. I guess the
that's right. Yeah, Facebook renamed them.
Yeah.
But see, I mean, it's the same way. I get to be kind of like John. With Jenny, because she's a planner too. She plans everything, and I'm just like whatever, you know, like I'm sure whatever you want to do, you know, like I don't want to plan anything. I just want spontaneous, whatever happens.
Yeah.
It was awesome when we went for Thanksgiving. She even had like a whole agenda. I'm like, oh, this is so. She speaks to my heart. Oh my God,
she had like times. She had times down, like. We'll arrive at Universal at about 8 o'clock, and we'll
get home
back at 3:30, and then we could head over to the beach, and we could arrive there about 4:45.
And I was like,
that is funny. She's like my people. All right, so I you know I'm not monitoring the Facebook page. Maybe I should. I'm looking at.
I mean, I'm watching YouTube. It's mainly just comment. I mean,
yeah, it's mostly comments, which is good. But I want to make a challenge to my co-hosts. Ooh, surprise! Surprise challenge. I want each one of you to do something, and it doesn't have to be. There's no time. I don't want you to stress out about this being a time thing, but check in with you. I want you guys to try something that you haven't tried before. To reduce your stress. So that could be the meditation. But if I have a choice to pick a few things, I would love TJ to go get a Korean scrub, a Korean body scrub, and then report back.
I mean, yeah, no, I'll go do it, but I know I won't like it. I don't. Well, maybe not. Maybe. I mean, if it's a scrub, like they're really scrubbing you. Like,
yeah.
I'm all, like I said, massages. I like the deep tissue, so maybe a scrub. I might like that.
Yeah, I want you to soak in the hot tub and then the medium tub and maybe the cold one, and then don't get in the cold one right before you get your scrub because that's gonna not do much for the shrinkage factor. I mean, maybe go from the hot one right onto the table, so like you're in full TJ glory. But yeah, I would love to hear you do that.
I'm okay with. I don't care about shrinkage.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No, that's good. But I want to hear your experience. Like I want to hear like a blow by blow. Well, no, there's no such thing. But I mean, I would love to hear what your experience was like at a Korean spa because it's just I think it would be a very unique, funny story.
I have to be careful here because there's like a whole little area that has a bunch of places like that, but. Everybody has warned, don't go to these massage parlors. These spas, they're all like rub and tug places. Like every one of them is that way.
There's legitimate ones. There's definitely legitimate ones. If you don't do it by the time I come to Tampa, we'll go together.
Okay.
I'll do the research and then we'll find a good one. But I should, and I'll probably be coming to Tampa within the next 60 or 90 days. We'll see. For work,
Nice.
I'll have some extra time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Phil, I don't know what I'd want to. I just don't know. I don't want to break you at this point by giving you a challenge.
Right now,
Because it could go either way. You could either be completely like relaxed, or
could just push me over the
like,
edge.
hey, yeah. I don't know. So I'll let you. Do you have anything on the top of your mind that you think you might want to try, or should we leave that to the viewer
Phil's
suggestion?
Phil's a shit. Like he shears himself, so I think Phil should have to go get it waxed.
Well, no, because then he. Oh, yes. You know,
Yes.
I don't know if that's
It's not
relaxing.
going to be
though.
relaxing at all.
Yeah. But there's that.
I'm
There's
all
that.
trimmed up. I'm good.
There's that
It is
condition.
relaxing.
There's that condition that some people will get where they actually relax themselves, or it calms them to pull out their own body hair. It's like trichotillomania or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I don't want.
Yeah.
I feel I don't want you to lose your eyebrows or your facial hair. So none of that.
I'm not pulling out my eyebrows, Kirk.
No, thank God. Yeah. You get enough waxed. You get
Nike
enough
would
waxed.
Nike would remove their sponsorship if you.
That's right.
For sure. But Phil, do you have something off the top of your head, or should we leave it to viewer's choice?
Oh,
Viewers.
Christ. Would you like the new rope or the old rope, Mr. Olson? We're going to hang you from this tree. I can't think of anything, but
He
All
lives
right.
in Colorado, so my challenge would be that he needs to try marijuana.
yeah, except I'm allergic to every plant on the planet.
It's not the
It's not gonna
same.
kill me.
It won't kill you.
It would kill me.
I guarantee.
You're right. You're right. I'm not lucky enough to die. I'll end up as a paraplegic in a wheelchair from it.
No,
That's
no,
what's
no.
happening to me.
You
Oh
would
my
be just
gosh.
fine.
Okay.
You'd be
All right.
just
Well,
fine.
we'll table that. And see
Well,
what
Well, wait, you
table
gotta
says.
come up with something for Tanya.
Let's see, Tanya.
Well, I thought
Tanya needs to go on a vacation and not plan beforehand.
Like, yeah, go on a vacation where she doesn't know where she's going.
Yeah,
Like, she
John
just has to be
plans it out.
ready. It has to be like a surprise.
John's just like, okay, Tanya, we're leaving on the 13th and we're coming back on the 22nd, and pack for warm
Well,
weather. Pack
That's crazy talk. That she would never go anywhere for that long period of time without knowing where she's going.
no.
But could he
And if
surprise
he-
you with an overnighter someplace where you wouldn't have to necessarily know, or do you have to know where you're going?
I don't have to know where I'm going, but I have to pack for myself. Because if you
But
would
he
see,
could say pack for the beach, or pack for outdoorsy stuff, or pack for cold weather.
that's fine. I can handle that. Yeah,
Okay.
but
So
I couldn't allow him to pack for me. That would not be good.
Because the lesson is here. We just want you, for us, all of us, to learn one of the ways that we can reduce stress is by just letting some things go and just living in the moment and realizing that, there's going to be a tomorrow. Whatever crap we're dealing with today is not going to make sense while we're experiencing it. But I guarantee a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you'll be able to look back at all this stress and all these effing awful things you go through, and at some point you're going to have learned from it, seriously, or you're going to be able to help somebody else who's going through the same thing and be that living example of there's light at the end of this particular tunnel. You're gonna get there. I'm living proof, kind of thing.
So do you guys? So I have a question. Oh, go ahead, Phil.
Honestly, I have the thing Kirk's going to try.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
go
but-
ahead.
Yeah.
He has to go shooting.
Oh, there you go.
I'll try that.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I
Definitely.
got a group on.
I would shoot, Phil. I would shoot with you any day.
Or you come on out. We could do that.
Do you see how cheap the round trips are right now between Seattle and?
That's what I'm
and
saying.
Yeah, I will shoot the hell out with you.
It's very
Anywhere.
relaxing. It sounds crazy, but it's very relaxing.
Yeah, I'll do it. What were you gonna say, Tanya?
Oh, I
A
said I
Groupon?
got I bought a Groupon for a shooting range because I've never fired a handgun before. So that's one of my goals for 2015 is to fire a handgun. So John and I have to do that sometime before August 31st when it
You've never
expires.
shot a firearm. You live in freaking New Orleans.
No. I've shot like
Oh.
Long
I don't
guns.
know, like
Oh
yeah, long guns, but not a handgun before.
If
So.
you videotape that, you're gonna get a whole nother following, like the stomach growling people. Now you're gonna get
the
like
fetish people.
yeah, you're gonna get like the hot plastic surgery, former weight loss surgery patient shooting chick.
And if I can get my stomach to growl at the same time, forget
Oh,
about
that'd
it.
be even
We can make this happen.
So
Totally.
I can throw a challenge out to all 3 of you, because I don't think any of you have done it, and that's to just at least do the intro class because it's free for scuba.
I've planned on doing that. Yeah, I have planned on doing that.
Phil, you've done it?
Yeah, the intro one, yes.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
TJ, I think I would probably really like that. Here's my concerns about it is, so recently, or not recently, but within the past few years, when I've gone snorkeling or whatever, I love the water. Like I'm one of those people who never gets out of the water. But I found like when I was going down, I felt some very unusual sinus pressure that I've never felt growing up and stuff. And that was like really like, where is that coming from? So I don't know if I have an underlying like sinus issue. I would be fine with the pressure. I mean, I think I would, but the other thing is like, how do you get the mask with our beards and stuff? Like, how do you get like a good?
It seals.
That's a good question.
Because that's the only other thing that
I don't have any problems with it.
No, I would totally do it. I would like, because I think I would probably find it really. I love being out in the. I'm one of those people that's not afraid of the open ocean. I love being in the water. I love being near the water. I might feel a little claustrophobic with the mask on if I'm not used to it, but I think it's something I'd get used to.
Yeah, but if you do the intro class, you're in a pool.
Yeah.
So if you freak out, you just go to the surface. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So,
and it'd be nice to be able to do it this time without having to ask for the 4X wetsuit. When we did swimming with the dolphins, it's like I barely fit into like the 4X wetsuit. Oh my god, it was like so embarrassing.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, so Kirk and Tanya, you guys have to do scuba intro. Phil, you need to do a jiu-jitsu intro class.
Okay.
Like real boxing.
I'll have to look around that.
No, jiu-jitsu. It's grappling. It's not boxing.
Okay. Yeah. What if he's afraid of touching other men in that way?
Well, you're gonna get over any personal boundaries because you're in all kinds of positions. You got, I mean, it's a very intimate contact.
So I'm going to put my stamp of approval on that challenge. So.
He wants videotape. I was going to take the Krav Maga intro, but I'll try jiu-jitsu just.
Well, yeah, I mean, Krav Maga and jiu-jitsu are totally different. Krav Maga, you're like trying to kill people. In jiu-jitsu, you're not.
And then tell him, TJ, that his first time, isn't it traditional for him to wear a wrestling singlet?
And videotape the whole thing?
There you go, yeah. Yeah, show up in a
you have to earn
Roman
the gi.
outfit.
You can't just wear the gi. You have to earn it, and you do that first by wearing a wrestling singlet.
I just wear my C9s, and that's it. Nothing else.
No, you got to get something like the Barat gear, like what Barat.
Oh yeah, exactly. There you go.
And just show up to the class and be like, "Hey, I'm here to."
That is funny.
So I have a question. So how do you guys think that there's a difference in the way younger folk handle the stress of WLS and all the stuff that they go through compared to the older folk?
Is there an age?
We'll go Kirk first.
Is there an age divide?
Yes.
No, because like instantly I want to say, oh yeah, they all get tattoos, but like no, I've seen.
No, I'm talking about just the way they deal with the pressures, the stresses, all the changes, the mind fuck, the physical. Do you think that they handle it better or worse than somebody who, let's say, is like 40 and goes through?
I'm trying to think of like real life examples, and I can think of people who don't handle things very well, and their ages span from early 20s to to my elderly ages of the mid 40s. So I don't know if it's an age thing. I mean, you're asking the question, so you must know. Notice.
No, I don't. I mean, I've thought about it. To me, it seems more like a personality type trait.
It's an absolute thing.
But I don't. Part of me wants to say that an older person would do better because you have more life experience, so you've dealt with major things. But at the same time, at a certain age, you become set in your ways. Whereas when you're young, you're not really set in your ways, so you can adapt to change more quickly when you're young than you can when you're older. So.
Well, I think sometimes older, you kind of know that you don't know everything. And sometimes I think older, sometimes you are more open. Where younger, you know it all. There's nothing you can tell me. I've got this. I'm indestructible, kind of thing. So, yeah, I can see where it can go both ways.
Tanya, what's your thought?
I can't think of people in my life that are younger. So I can only compare to myself. And I know when I was younger, I was less of a control freak. I was extremely laid back. I think I handled stress a lot better younger. So I don't think I let things get to me the way I let things get to me now, and I did not try to control things the way I try to control things now. So for me, as a younger me, I handled stress a lot better. I just things rolled off my back and I didn't care. Now I'm way too controlling, so I let things get to me.
Phil?
I don't know, man. I've been so like learning just myself, at this age. I often make the comment of this. Some of this shit I should have known for 20 years. I'm just now figuring it out at 40 something. It's almost comical to figure it out at this age. But and I have that comment come out of my mouth a lot. So I think that I may not be the best judge of this, but the younger people that I know in their 20s, their early 30s, I don't know. They don't seem to. I mean, they just seem to be adapting to it a little easier. All the changes easier. I don't know if that's because as an older person, you're like you said, set in your ways, or you have more responsibilities, kids, mortgages, etc. Or not. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I definitely do see that the difference is at least it appears that they're handling those changes much better. So.
But I think people personalities are just different because I know there have been people in the community who aren't married, don't have kids, they're living at home with parents that I've watched videos of, and they are super stressed out about whatever issue they're going through at the moment. And I'll being judgy, I'll think to myself, you don't have shit of problems compared to what, when you do have a mortgage and you got kids to take care of and you got to get up at the ass crack of dawn or before the ass crack of dawn to get them ready and get them in bed at night and get homework done. And like that, those problems are minuscule compared to what you're going to deal with 10 years down the road. But, everybody's problems are their own.
Yeah. I don't think that's WLS specific. I mean, I think that when we were young, people told us the same thing, and we thought, right. So I think that's just normal age divide that you have no idea what, when you're 25, the shit that's coming, you have no idea. But it's kind of, I like that you brought that up because I didn't know how to work it into the show. But I wanted to kind of talk about, I guess it would be eating, stress, and then the causes being more of a fulfillment issue. So I think that people who are dealing with more stress or more issues with the WLS journey is because at some point they're just not being fulfilled. And speaking directly to the community, you see people who start comparing themselves to other people, or they're more interested in what the hell you're up to, like they don't care, they don't talk about themselves, or they don't, they're out trying to find out information about everybody else and talk about everybody else, and I don't know, and I think that's just a fulfillment issue. These people haven't found a way to be fulfilled themselves, so then they start trying to tear people down or find the cracks and other people that are out there.
Yeah.
Or hyper focus on other people. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, if you're busy, like if you're more concerned about what I'm doing than what you're doing, then you're doing it wrong.
Right.
Is kind of my thought. So, but I didn't know how to pose that as a question or what your guys' thoughts are on it. But I just think that people need to find a way to become fulfilled. Yeah. And it could be traveling, it could be drinking, it could be shooting guns, it could be painting, I don't care what it is, but you need to find that thing that makes your life feel more fulfilling. And and I think if you can do that, that's going to greatly reduce your stress, and it's also going to help with your long-term success. Because then we could get into sabotaging with that too, that if you're not fulfilled and then you have a little bit of ice cream, then you come down hard on yourself, and so it snowballs. So I don't know. Phil, what's your thoughts on all that babbling I just did?
No. So I thought you hit on something there. I think, like you said, you have to find something that fulfills you. But I will say that cannot be. You can't just say, well, talking about other people's business and spreading rumors is what makes me feel more fulfilled. Well, then get the fuck out, because we don't want you around.
Right.
I see way too much of that.
Well, you want to work for like the Inquirer or TMZ.
Yeah, unless you're gonna go, do that. But then at least put a badge on it and say, wear that. Don't act like you're not doing it. In other words, if that's what it is, then you own it and tell everybody, hey, I'm gonna tell your shit to the world. Don't pretend to be a friend or pretend to have confidence. You're gonna keep something in confidence and then go tell everybody or share it with somebody. So and I've just seen it too many times with too many people, and you want to think that people in this community are a little bit more thoughtful, and they've been on the outside maybe a time or two and kind of know what it's like to be talked about behind their back, and you would never expect them to do it, and then you see a lot of people turn around and do it, and it's just kind of sad. Not necessarily just, I mean, hey, you burn somebody once, then they know. They're like, okay, now we don't trust you anymore. But it's kind of sad for you because you're really hurting yourself because you're turning into the very thing that used to, basically the kind of predator that kind of came after you back in the day. Now you're that person. So
yeah, and I mean that was just one of the examples that I had that I see a lot. That is a characteristic I see people turning to. It could be other things too. I mean, I didn't mean it as just a rumor mill only question, but I just think that people start falling apart or become hyper focused on other individuals in the community because they are not finding fulfillment in their own lives.
Right, and I was just picking up on that one particular piece
Right.
because it rang a bell, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point, and here's why I think that's a bad idea. But
I think that happens not just in the WLS community.
Oh,
I
no,
mean,
yeah.
you can look at people who are into pageants and dog shows and whatever, and there are dance moms. There's always people who are always more interested in anybody else's business because they don't want to kind of deal with their own. Although I have to admit though, like I can understand why somebody would want to be in your business, TJ, because probably what you are doing is more interesting than what they're doing.
Well, and that's fine, but if you
But
want
not in a mean or spiteful way, but like in an interesting
right.
way.
But here's my thing. I guess if we want to kind of latch onto that topic a little bit, if you want to know what I'm doing or you want to know something that's up with me, then come ask me.
Yeah.
That would be my only statement to that. Is that, and Gooch, I'm not talking about you. Because I know I called him out in a post the other day.
Poor Gooch.
No, I mean it's a general statement that if you want to know what somebody's up to, you want to whatever, then go to that person. Like if you want to know what's up with me, don't go to Phil and say what's up with TJ. Don't go to Tanya and say what's up with TJ. Go to TJ and say what's up with TJ. You know what I mean?
I think that's good advice just across the board. I run into this a lot in my professional life. When people want to talk about, when they want to say things like, well, people are saying or people are feeling, and because they don't want to say, this person feels this way or that way, and I hate triangulated conversations. So it's like, let's just all of us get in the same room and talk about this.
Yeah.
Like,
We'll jump on a hangout and let's have this conversation.
Yeah,
absolutely, that's a good point.
really. I mean, it's why not? It's like if you're not coming from a mean or spiteful place, then why would you care? Why wouldn't you want to say something directly to the person? But sometimes I don't know. There could be some situations where people think they're gossiping out of good intentions, like they have concerns.
I think that's thinly veiled, is what that is. I mean,
That's a convenient justification.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
I think in any closed community, or like whether it's WLS or dog shows or pageants or whatever, I mean, information becomes currency. So I can buy your trust, I can buy your loyalty, or I could buy my way up the rungs of the popularity ladder with the information that I have, or the information I could share, or the dirt that what I mean? And I think to a certain extent that's kind of, at least what I'm seeing is that information is kind of treated like currency.
Well, that's just shading.
Yeah.
That's more than 50 shades.
That's right. That's like 100 shades, right?
It's 110 shades.
That's right.
It depends on what the conversion rate is right now, right?
Right. Well, it depends on the person. I mean, like if you pull some dirt on Tanya, it's going to be far more valuable than if you pull dirt on me. So the currency rate, the exchange rate is much higher.
It's higher. That's a good point.
Oh my.
That's a good point, for real.
Yeah, it is a good point. So
Uh,
what I'm saying is everybody leave me alone and get dirt on Tanya, is what I'm saying.
There's no dirt on me.
It's so thinly veiled, TJ. I don't understand.
well, so let me ask you this: is this tying it into the stress thing? So do you think like being kind of high profile in the WLS community adds more additional stress to what's already a kind of stressful life change of having a major surgery.
I think, I don't know. I mean, so now we could bring the other subject in of when do you back off of the community,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think at some point the community becomes more of a liability. It can, depending, depends on how you navigate it, how you deal with it, your interaction throughout your journey. It at some point it becomes a liability, or it becomes a negative point or a stressor than something positive. So to me, that tying that into the backing away from the community, I think once the community becomes a hindrance more than a help, is when it's time to back away.
No, I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say too, when I had a time a little over a year ago when I backed away, but I think there's layers as to what can contribute to that. And I think if you have problems in your personal life, your non-WLS life, and you're finding an escape in the community, sometimes that can be good and sometimes it can be bad. Because if you're escaping too much and you're not dealing with your real life problems, and you're finding more comfort over there, that's not good in the long term because you're not dealing with your problems. So for me, I found I was doing that, and I stopped admitting for several groups, and I kind of pulled back a little bit. I had lost balance, and I was definitely escaping into the community because I didn't want to deal with stuff I had going on at home. So it's really difficult to say, how much is a support and how much is escape. And that's where like the balance goes out of whack. And sometimes you have to pull back a little bit to get some perspective on like what are your goals with dealing with the community? Is your goal to help support people and to get support, or is your goal to escape your personal problems and not?
I think that goes back to fulfillment, right? So your personal life or your life, whatever, your real life, as I know everybody hates that, but so
we know what you mean. We know what you mean.
I mean, you're not fulfilled there, so then you go to the community, and I think that's why you see people who they come and go a lot. You see kind of a wavering because things get better in the real world and their normal lives, so then they don't need the community to fulfill them, so they disappear, and then shit starts going bad, and then you see them kind of come back. It seems like fulfillment is somewhat a part of that, and then also forgiveness. Like me, I get pissed and I leave every other week, and then I'm like, fuck, I just been a dick. I come back.
So is it so if we were giving advice though to people who are either who are going into this, is there like, if you could go back, are there times where you could clearly identify opportunities where you could have set limits and either just completely weren't aware that you were going beyond those limits, or because like what I'm wondering is like, do you even know where that limit should be until you're already past it? Like with people.
No, I think it's a hindsight issue. I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely hindsight. Yeah.
And I think it creeps
one
up
step too far. You go
Right.
You think you can handle a new change, or you're like, you've analyzed something like, no, this is okay, this is what I want, and then you get past that point, you're like, oh shit, what have I done? Like I am way out on a limb here, and I didn't think about this, and this, and now it's all coming back to bite me in the ass. So
Yeah.
So are we saying then? So I think we're saying then collectively as a group, if you find yourself past that line all of a sudden, where you are like, oh crap, where am I? What have I done? What am I doing?
Everybody's gone through that.
Everybody's gone through it, and it's totally okay to. Nobody's feelings should get hurt about wanting to pull back. It's not personal. It's something that it's self-preservation. It's that. Look at it as that person doing something like self-love. They're doing something for themselves to like sort of like, whoa, let me just rebalance myself. And when I'm in a better space, I'm going to re-engage. It's not a personal thing. It's not a I hate you. It's not like you've done anything wrong. It's nothing that you have to fix. It's just
right. For you, it's you have to refocus. But I would say coming into the community. So once, and I've talked about before where I was like, once you get to a certain point, you're already fucked. You're already in it. But if you're just starting out and you're watching this, I would think about it kind of like when you add a new fish to a tank of water. You do it slowly, and you watch the reaction. You know, you take them and you set them into water, and it adapts to the temperature, and then you add a little bit of the water slowly until the fish is nice and acclimated, and then you can put them in the tank. And so I think that a lot of times people come into the community and they're like full on, like, oh, they're commenting on everything and watching all the videos and chatting with everybody they can. And I think maybe you should take more a slower approach and really get a feel for people and the way things work before you just go balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Is my advice.
Well, and I think we've seen those people that kind of go balls to the walls, like burn really bright and hot really fast, and then it's like
poof, poof. Yeah, they're gone.
They just self-implode. You know, so.
Well, and I think I came in slowly, so I kind of am opposite of that. But then I took on a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more until it was a little bit too much, and you know I felt like people were dependent on me to do blah 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 or to support blah blah blah, whatever. And you know, you take all that kind of on yourself that I need to be there for everybody. I need to respond to every PM immediately, and that I still struggle with that. Honestly, I still struggle with, like, I want people to feel when I was a newbie, I wanted to feel important, and there were certain situations where I did not feel important to people who were further out. And I always said I never wanted to make anybody feel the way that I felt at that moment. So then I took it on as a personal obligation that no newbie is going to feel left out if they reach out to me. And then that became a bit of a burden on me because I felt this personal responsibility to every new person who reached out to me to respond immediately and to have a very heartfelt, deep response, which I do want to give. But I had to figure out that I'm more important than that. Like if I'm jeopardizing myself personally or my family and my relationship situation because of people who I don't really know, because I don't want them to feel bad, what do I owe to John to make him not feel bad versus some person that I don't know? And I'm not trying to be mean, but you know, you have to prioritize people in your life and situations and your time, and that's where you got to relearn balance sometimes. That's where I had to relearn balance.
Yeah.
I think it goes even one step further than that, Tanya, because as you're going through that process, you're learning to, and to Kirk's point too, where this person may need to pull back, myself included. I mean, I'm poster child for this, but I might want to pull back because that's what I need. It's not about other people. And for the first time in my life, I'm taking that into account. Like, what do I need? And I need to triage my life and say, this is going on, that's going on, this is going on. I ain't got time for this peripheral bullshit. I can't handle the fact that everything that happens in this community gets tongue wagged at or insinuated at, or like that's stressing me out more than it's worth to me at this point. Normally I can just ignore that and continue on and be supportive of other people, but right now I can't handle that. I got to be pulled away from it completely. Like, so I got to be. I don't have the mental fortitude per se to deal with. Oh, so and so said you did this, and they talked to so and so and said that about so and so. I ain't got time for it. So I have other big problems in my life right now, and I'm trying to figure out how do I fit into these equations now that I matter to me. And so if that means I got to step back and people can't understand that, then I'm sorry, but I'm still going to do it. So I'm still going to disappear on you, and I apologize. It's the way it is, you know.
But you don't. I don't. Do you have to apologize? Do you? I made the statement way long time ago when we first started to Kirk and Corey and all those guys when they came on the show that, hey, you owe something to the community. People have kind of, and you know, people have invested time in watching your videos and this and that. Now my opinion on that has obviously changed.
How do you feel about weight loss surgery, TJ?
You even really have to explain. I mean, yeah, if somebody's real close to you and you're abandoning a true close friendship, that's a little different. But the community at large, I don't think you owe that apology.
No, but I think you have rings of associations, right? So there's like our group that we all know each other. We've spent time together. We talk offline. You know, we have that. Then there's a bigger group where you pretty much know people through the community. You talk now and again online. They're like your, don't want to devalue them or anything, but it's like a second ring. Then you have a third ring of more like, hey, people that are in the community that know you and you chat with once in a while. It's a support thing, but you don't really share friend stuff. And you just got new people who you're trying to embrace, but you just can't get them, right? Those rings triage real quick. So read it real quick.
I don't know. I think you get to a point, and Tanya, maybe you've gotten to this point. I don't know. Maybe Kirk, you have, but I've gotten to the point now where I take it less. Like whenever I hear rumors, and you guys, there's no such thing as a one-on-one conversation. I guarantee you, within 10 minutes of you saying the word TJ, I've already heard it. So just be aware. But I think that. At this point, it's just like it's just par for the course. Like it's just, oh yeah, so and so. It's like, yeah, that sucks that they said that, and it's not true, but fine, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the point where I've got. Like I'm cynical and I'm not shocked. Like nothing I hear is shocking anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I've gotten to the point where if somebody comes to me with something, I have no problem saying, well, have you talked to that person about it?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I really don't care. Like, that's not my discussion. Talk to that person. I don't have anything to say about it. But I was going to say, too, like, when I did pull back, and I was a little bit concerned about how people were going to take with me saying I got to pull back. And I found everybody was super supportive. They were like, take your time. Like, when I stopped admitting for groups, they were like, take care of you and come back when you're ready. We're always here for you, blah, blah, blah. You know, I had nothing but support. I didn't have anybody say anything ugly, like, how dare you, you owe us. And no, I had none of that. So don't feel, I think a lot of that is internal. We feel a personal obligation to people.
I agree with that, too. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, Tanya, when you pulled away, I was like, no, you can't, don't, I will kill myself right now if you don't talk to me or respond to my really, seriously, right now, if you don't respond right this minute, I am going to jump off the bridge. I was probably the only one who got ugly and negative, I would say.
But then I stayed in touch, so it was okay.
It worked.
So it worked.
Yeah, my manipulation worked. So.
Just a side thing, do you guys feel like you have to respond to, like, if somebody PM'd you, do you feel like if you see it, you must respond?
Yeah.
Because they can see that you've seen it. So do you feel obligated to respond to every PM you get?
Yes.
I do.
Eventually, but not
Unless
maybe in
like,
the moment.
Unless it's like some kind of like weird troll.
Right. Well, yeah.
It's just like, hi, you a pretty American girl. And I'm like, yeah, no.
We love you long time.
I'm not a pretty American girl. I'm pretty sure this IM is not, or this PM isn't intended for me. So.
I definitely feel that way. And a couple months ago, Sarah Nordorgan had posted something about the other inbox in Facebook, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And when I found it, oh my God, y'all, I found like heartfelt messages that people sent to me from like 2012 that I never responded to, and I wanted to die.
I know.
I wanted to die. I'm like, knowing how I am.
Yeah.
And
how have you never seen it? It says right there, other. I mean,
I didn't see it either.
Really?
No.
Never. Oh, I wanted to vomit. I was so upset that night. I put a post on Facebook. I felt horrible. I responded to every single one of those people. I'm like, I don't know if you had surgery, but I'm so sorry I never responded. And people responded back, telling me their story. But I felt terrible because I do feel an obligation when people send me, especially something that's really heartfelt. They watch my journey and it encouraged them to have surgery. And I definitely feel an obligation to respond to them and talk to them.
So it's okay to feel obligated, but don't get stressed out about it. I think everybody will understand.
And then one other question that I have is about friend requests. So I don't accept anybody, right? I mean, I have my group of friends, and that's it. I don't accept any friend requests. And at first, when people would send me friend requests, I'd say, hey, I'm sorry, but I don't accept people. Like, I would take the time to write them and tell them why I didn't accept their friend request, but I don't do it anymore. I just ignore it. So, I mean, do you guys accept all the friend requests, or if you choose not to, do you message them? I mean, how do you guys handle friend requests?
I look at each one and then decide whether if it's somebody that's going to try to sell something, or there's a little bit of thought, but then I'll go through and do like a whole group at one time while I do that. So I don't look at them as they come in. I might like do like a group, but I do try to take a look at them because I don't want all of a sudden just a whole page full of things that are being sold. Like my feed, I want it to still be meaningful to me so I can scroll through it and keep up with everybody, and I don't want a bunch of static. So I'll look. If it looks like the person's remotely sincere and involved personally as as a weight loss surgery patient or somebody who's investigating weight loss surgery, I'm all for it. But when we have no friends in common or it
Well, what about if it's your personal page? Because you have two pages.
Personal page is for pretty much reserved for people who I've only met in person.
Right.
Yeah.
So if somebody tries to friend you there, do you write them or do you just ignore it?
No, I try to tell them that I'm going to reject this, but to friend me on the other page, and I'll be happy to accept.
Phil, what about you? You've probably been the longest standing of no acceptance.
I have flat out told people, like, look, I don't accept friend requests on my personal page. Sorry, I've said it in videos over and over and over again. That being said, I probably have 187 in my friend request box right now. I never delete the request. I can't quite bring myself to click delete request because I feel bad, but I never accept them, and I don't respond to them anymore at all. So, sorry, you watch a video. If you watch my videos, you would know this. So apparently, how much
you
of a
don't
friend
watch them, right?
So.
Well, you can tell. Yeah, some people they just go through and like they'll be friends with Tanya, and then they'll go through and they'll just friend everybody that's on Tanya's friends list.
Well, I mean, Facebook helps facilitate that by the suggested friends functions and things like that. People you may know and all that kind of stuff. So
I don't know. And Tanya, you accept everybody, right? Do you ever deny a friend request?
Me? Oh yeah,
The other Tanya.
I'm laughing because I had this discussion with somebody today about this. So on my personal account, I'm like Kirk. I only accept people who I've had some kind of personal interaction with, and I don't mind them knowing that. But I'm not on my personal account that much. So it's not like you're gonna know a lot of stuff about me from that.
But you have pictures of your kids and stuff like that on there, and that's different.
Yeah, but I wound up just incorporating pictures of my kids and family stuff on my regular site, on my VSG site. I'm on my VSG site 95% of the time. So for VSG, like I'm like Phil, I have a hard time denying people, so I have a lot of requests just sitting out there. My general rule is if we don't have at least 100 people in common, then you're probably not VSG.
You're a superstar.
If it's like foreign, like I don't usually accept that. I don't accept very many people now. And then with men, I don't accept hardly anybody unless we have a lot of people in common. And some people who are in common, I'll PM them and say, do you know so-and-so, what's this person about? And they'll say, if somebody says, I don't know, I just accept them. I'm like, well, I'm not accepting them. But if they say, oh yeah, he's fine. But I don't accept very many male requests.
Unless they're really hot, right? They gotta be super hot.
I mean,
if there's like lots of chest showing.
Well, speaking of like super, super hot, I've just been dying this entire show. Can I just ask you to do something, Tanya?
Me?
Yeah. But turn around and look at that picture right behind you. And can we see that picture?
This one right here?
Yes. I don't know who it is, but like the hair, I'm just fascinated with the silhouette. All I see is.
It looks like it's from 1980.
This is Cherie Austin. She's an Australian singer. And we saw her at a local casino a while back, and there were so few people at the show. She gave us a personal autograph. But she's from Australia.
I was so hoping that was a glamour shot of you.
I never did glamour shots.
You just said never do a glamour shot. Guess what we're going to do sometime together, Tanya?
Do they still have glamour shots?
They've got to have them someplace.
They were only in malls. Are there even any malls left?
We'll go to freaking Minnesota. We'll go to the Mall of America.
You guys need to go do boudoir photos together.
Yeah.
There you go.
Speaking of which,
you know what?
Erica's well, I don't know if you'd call them boudoir pictures, but Erica Bullock's pictures, those were gorgeous. I mean, I was like,
Ryan did.
Whoa, girl.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is Ryan does those photo shoots.
Yeah,
they were fabulous.
Our Ryan. Show Ryan?
Yeah, Andrew's wife, Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, other show's wife.
All
The
right.
other show.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, Andrew's wife does them, so you can
Alright,
go
so yeah.
see Andrew and
Ryan?
Ryan, and you can get your photo shoot done.
Done and done.
Yeah, she's gonna make this hairy mess look like a freaking beefcake boudoir model. I'm down for that.
I wonder if
Yeah,
she's
well,
ever done any guy photos like that. That would be kind of funny, actually.
There's a
It's not
first
that
time
hard
for
to
everything.
glamour shot.
Kirk and I with our leg up in the air, holding her.
You can glamour shot anything. You just gotta add some fuzz, a little halo, and slightly blurry.
Oh,
and there
I
you
don't
go.
know, but
Glamour shot.
I thought those pictures of Erica were so pretty and so tasteful, and
No, I was
oh,
talking. I don't know. I haven't seen them, but I'm talking about the glamour
Yeah.
shot photos.
Yeah, where you would literally just lean up against the furry thing
Yeah.
and
Well,
And then
you
they
had
would
to-
just blur it. Yeah, they
Yeah.
would make your hair
You had to have
super
hair that
tall.
was like big, like super huge hair.
Yeah.
Like I was like, and the great big enormous earrings and the
oh.
sequin tops. Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's where WSFA and OH need to up their game at the meet and greets. Instead of just having the regular photo booth, they need to have glamour shot photo booths.
And boudoir.
Wow.
I bet you Patricia and Aaron Miller
I
could
was
provide
gonna
some
say.
good props for that. I bet because Patricia's probably got just tons of stuff that would just be like fabulous 80s funky and 90s cool and like 40s fabulous. I'm
Definitely.
getting really excited about next weekend.
Here's my thing. I like Patricia and Aaron. They were great to me. Love them. I've talked to them, individually, all that stuff. But I don't like having to pay $1 for a photo of myself.
Oh, I haven't ran into that. I mean, I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Well, so whenever you go out, so after you go to WLSFA, then they post them to a site, and if you want you can get the low rent version of it, right? The low megapixel version of it for free. But if you want it to where you could print it or put it on something, you got to pay for it.
Oh,
So
I don't
then-
mind. If that's somebody's
I
profession.
mind, because it's a picture of me. But someone else, you could buy a picture of me for $1. So
Yeah.
you're selling
Well,
you're
how do you
selling me for $1.
You probably gave up some kind of right to that when you registered for the event. I would
Oh,
imagine.
I'm sure.
But I mean, I've purchased tons of pictures of you, TJ. I mean,
The sock pic you can get for free.
They'll even send you the high-res version.
Oh yeah, high-res. You got it for
Funny.
That'll be in the next promo.
The big head, isn't it? Isn't that what it's called? Big heads.
Yeah, big
They have
heads.
the full
Fat head, yeah.
Fat head.
fat heads.
I don't mind paying for things if it's people's professions. Just like I don't mind people charging for weight loss surgery advice if that's their profession and they're qualified and they put time and effort into becoming
If they're
certified. And
qualified, yes.
yeah, totally. So it's like if it's
Well,
somebody's
look at
profession,
Corey.
I don't mind it.
Corey takes amazing photos. He doesn't charge anybody shit.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Oh,
does it.
God.
I mean, yeah, he does great photography too. And
Amazing.
it's,
Did
Yeah.
we ever get the NOLA pictures? Has he ever had I wonder if he's had a chance to put those up anywhere.
he's so busy. I bet you.
I don't want to bug him, but
If you mention, he'll just Dropbox them.
Yeah.
okay, I'll bug him.
I need to
They're
bug
good.
him on our pictures we took when we met him in Savannah. He took some amazing pictures of my family, like really good.
Don't stress him out, you guys.
Okay, never
No,
mind.
I'm not.
I'm just kidding.
He just snapped his finger in two, so he's probably now's a
You
good
know,
time to
that's-
bug him. He's
Did that
probably
again
loading
this April?
Yeah, it's a
April 1st.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he did that April Fool's last year.
Yeah.
It's the same picture. That's why I said I'm so glad I've known you long enough to feel absolutely zero sympathy for you
I
because
know.
I know,
fall for
exactly. I
that.
thought the same thing.
it's funny. Well, I mean, do you guys have anything else you want to talk about, or should we go
no,
ahead
it's
and
gonna be a
wrap
short
things up?
show.
Yeah, let's just
No,
wrap
I need
it
to
up
go to
and.
bed. I have to drive for like 10 hours tomorrow.
Oh,
what time
and
are
I
you
have
guys
to, I have to
leaving?
go pack. We're leaving at 6 a.m.
All right. Well, I'll go
And-
ahead and I'll wrap it up, but Phil has to do the outro or whatever it's called. But just a reminder, if you guys want to see the what's the shoes called again? The Converse or the high top?
Converse, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to see that contest come back, we need to see some activity or interest in it. And then definitely, it sounds like Tanya and I are going to be loaded up with a lot of T-shirts. We're going to be the shirt sluts at WSFA. So if you, we're going to think about fun safe words that you'll have to come to, and we'll have some live contests so that you have to be registered with our page in order. We'll post it there, and then you have to come find us and say the word.
And
And it's the first person to do it, so
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And we need to come up with some 50 Shades trivia. the only people who watch
Who
the
watched
whole
the
show.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's gonna be fun.
I would flunk that.
Right.
On the damn show.
Well, we'll pick the ones for you, TJ, the two where you weren't allowed to drink, or where you were not were allowed, but where you didn't drink.
Right. Okay.
I want to point out one other thing before we outro. Do you guys know where we were a year ago today? Or
Yeah, we were in Tampa.
Yes,
You're
we
in
were.
Tampa, yeah.
Just for the record, I'm back here celebrating the anniversary of it all.
There you go.
But I was thinking about that. So Tanya, you're going to be here tomorrow.
And that's Disney
So
World.
that's gonna have to be. That needs to be an annual tradition.
There you
That's
go.
right.
I don't know where the rest of y'all are at, but that's kind of jacked up. That Tanya and John are the only ones coming to visit.
Yeah.
We're making the effort.
They
Yeah.
are.
Phil has never come to visit me anywhere I've moved.
You know, it's funny. Every time I've like made plans to come, then you move again. I'm like, God dang it. 'Cause I was like, oh, Washington, yeah, I'll come out. We'll go see Kirk. Blah blah blah. Boom, Tampa. Son of a.
Yeah, so you need to. And then Germany, you were planning on Germany, and then
Yes, and then
then
you
got diverted to Virginia.
Yep.
And Virginia really wasn't worth visiting, really. I mean, it's cool, but it's not like it's Virginia. But you gotta come down here. I mean, at least if you like do a Disney trip, go to Orlando.
I think I would do the Universal because I've done Disney World and I was underwhelmed. I like Disneyland better. Don't shoot me. I just like it better.
No, I'm not a big fan of Disney World either. But the
Universal's fun.
Universal's fun, but I just like the Harry Potter part of it the most. Like, I just want to go do Harry Potter and then the rest. But that new that roller coaster we rode last time, whenever you were here, that rock and roller coaster, that is a badass roller coaster. It's a long wait, but it's worth it.
And that straight drop, yeah.
Well, you go straight up, it's pretty amazing. Anyway, take us out.
Take us out, Phil.
All right, guys. All right, thanks for tuning in, and happy anniversary to all the Disney World people that went last year. And next time we'll catch you again next week. Don't define your world in black and white because there's so much hiding amongst the gray.